What's going on? Like, follow, share, and subscribe to your boy, DJ Bishop. All right, we're going to get straight into this. So, go ahead, let's get it.
Die to be in your shoes in America. People will die to be in your shoes in America. They just wish they could see that red, white, and blue flag around means freedom.
Freedom.
It means opportunity. And y'all fools out here with the opportunity in your hand and you just fumbling. It makes me mad. It makes me upset. Greatest country on earth, and y'all throwing it away. You got the world by the you know what. And y'all wasting all your time, all your energy complaining, making excuses, talking about this person stopped you, that person oppressed you, this person said the N-word. When you should be building to the top. You should be having those kids that you drop off at Planned Parenthood so you can have some political power. But I'm just making this up. 13% of the population is totally okay with you. Totally okay with you until it's not okay. Why do we live to be victims? Why do we live to be victims? Even the Christians, victims. I gave a speech at a church the other day, and I said, I don't want to hear nobody say nothing about white privilege ever again. I don't believe in white privilege. There is no white man, and if you're watching White Man, there ain't no white man that can stop what Christ is doing in my life. And if he stop it, it's because Christ let him stop it. Some of y'all black folks, and I'm going to get on the black folks because I know some of y'all in the comment section hating. Only people hating on me is these black folks.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all believe the white man is greater than God. The white man is your God. Jesus is the underling of your white God. Because if you believe that white people can stop you from accomplishing your dreams in this country, and you claim to be a Christian of the living God, you should be ashamed of yourself. Nobody can stop you and prevent what Christ can do for you in your life.
I think that was necessary. But I ain't done with you. Ain't done yet. Gotta get in your bones, let you understand. Help you a little bit of what's going on. And bust your ass with your chops, but I'm bust something. Games. Okay.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. We don't know about you, but we are thankful that on his very first day in office, Joe Biden addressed one of this nation's most pressing problems, the crisis in girls' sports. The main problem with girls' sports, obviously, is that they lack diversity. Only girls get to play girls' sports. That's wrong. Joe Biden plans to fix it. Biden is breaking this country's turf ceiling. For the first time in history, men will be allowed to compete in, for example, girls' field hockey, and then change in the girls' locker room afterward. Joe Biden has signed an executive order requiring it. Even Barack Obama didn't do that. So say it with us now, hashtag civil rights. I want to talk recently about women's empowerment. It's a staple of liberal politics. You've heard it before. But it takes a real leader, a once-in-a-generation moral visionary to go further than that, to use federal power to humiliate and endanger women on behalf of biological men. That is feminism at the next level. That is real empowerment. That's the Joe Biden program. He's been planning it for years. This was Biden last February.
We all know the animating promise of this country that all men and women are created equal has never been fulfilled.
Never been fulfilled.
Equal. By equal, Joe Biden means identical. There are no differences between men and women. They are precisely the same. That's his position. Those gender categories we've heard about since the dawn of recorded history are fake. Trump made them up. So there's no reason to protect women from the idea of men and women isn't real. Not everyone believes this, of course. Science isn't always popular. The peasants don't understand it. There's still troglodytes out there in the year 2021 who are trying to keep men out of women's sports, if you can even imagine. Yes, Donald Trump is gone, but that doesn't mean hate has taken a holiday. But Joe Biden is not intimidated by that. He doesn't care that pretty much no one in America agrees with him or even understands what he's talking about. When Joe Biden watches girls' gymnastics, as he frequently does, and doesn't see a single biological man walking the balance beam or swinging from the uneven bars, he doesn't just sit back and accept the status quo. He acts with force and certainty. Now, activism like that may seem modern, but it's not new for Joe Biden. For 60 years, he has been fighting transphobia, longer than many of us have been alive. Way back in the summer of 1962, decades before it was fashionable, Joe Biden confronted a vicious transphobe called Corn Pop.
Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up. He said, "You walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, 'You may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.'"
Corn Pop was a bad dude? Yeah, I'll say. Corn Pop was a bigot. He wanted to keep men out of the girls' changing room at a public pool in Wilmington. It was a different time back then. But Joe Biden wouldn't have it. He threatened to beat Corn Pop with a 6-foot chain. And that was just the beginning. Decades later, Joe Biden flew all the way to South Africa to free Nelson Mandela from prison. Yeah, we saw that, but few of us understood the significance of it at the time. We'll admit it now. Most of us assumed racist policies of the South African government. What we didn't know was that Joe Biden was actually fighting a more insidious foe, gender apartheid. Robben Island was men only, segregated by sex, if you can imagine. But the fight isn't over yet. Joe Biden's holy war of liberation continues. Even now, in this supposedly liberated time, groups of women still saunter to the ladies' room together in restaurants across America with not a single man joining them in the stall. That happens. Believe it or not, it happens right now. Right now, as we speak tonight, there are still sexually segregated public showers in this nation. Not to mention dressing rooms in retail stores that men aren't allowed to enter. And what about your house? How many boys slept over at your 7th grade daughter's most recent slumber party? We need to start asking ourselves questions like these. It's time to look within America. Until we can all agree that 8-year-old boys can be strong, independent, sassy women, we're all part of the problem. Joe Biden understands that.
This is Golga.
Hey.
This is Golga's personal trimmer.
The sharpest rock in whole forest.
Thank goodness for evolution, huh?
He was out with them. Sassy women. Yes.
The idea that an 8-year-old child or a 10-year-old child decides, I decided I want to be transgender. That's what I think I'd like to be. It'll make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, is that right?
There should be zero discrimination.
Get the fuck out of here.
Joe Biden has a solution. 60 years ago, he fought Corn Pop with a chain to protect the right of biological men to be present when girls change into their bathing suits. And he'll bring that same moral clarity to your daughter's lacrosse team. Leadership like that will change this country. In time, you won't hear people claiming to be the first female this or first female that, because honestly, in a truly liberated society, who can say what's female? Why shouldn't Mike Pence announce that actually he was the first woman to serve as vice president? Who could call him wrong? Not us. We don't do hate speech here. Kara Dansky is a member of the Women's Human Rights Campaign. She joins us tonight. Kara, thanks so much for coming on. This is not the first time you've come on our show. We have extremely different politics, but you're one of the very few people, in my view, who's thought through the implications of this. It sounds like liberation to a lot of well-meaning people, decent people, support this because they think it sounds like it's helping things.
So I just, first of all, want to thank you for having me on the show again. And also, I just want to say this executive order is horrendous, and it makes a mockery of the rights, privacy, and safety of women and girls.
man.
It's absolutely horrible. I know that you want to talk specifically about sports, and that's great. I'd love to talk about sports.
I don't. I want the big picture. I want to know what this means, and I'm sorry if we reduced it just to sports, because I think you're absolutely right. It's bigger than that. I'm just going to let you go, and you tell us what you think this means for the country.
Great, thank you. So by way of doing that, I'd like to say that the Women's Human Rights Campaign is a global group of women who are advancing the Declaration on Governments across the world, including at the international level. This is a document that, if enacted into law, would specifically and explicitly enshrine women's sex-based rights in lieu of gender identity. And we should say we are nonpartisan. And the reason that we are nonpartisan is that we understand that enshrining so-called gender identity in the law impacts all women and girls, regardless of race, regardless of religion, national origin, or party affiliation. So we are very much a nonpartisan organization, and we are absolutely dedicated to the enshrinement of women's sex-based rights. And anyone can read this document. I'm saying this because the Women's Declaration on Women's Sex-Based Rights explains in far greater detail than we could do tonight exactly why enshrining so-called gender identity in the law hurts women and girls, and anyone can find it at womensdeclaration.com.
So it does seem like a major change, not just in our law, but in our civilization, to say that biological sex isn't real, and that is the implication of this. What does that mean? It means something for all of us, but what does it mean for girls, practically, and women, practically speaking?
So globally, for thousands of years, and in this country for hundreds of years, women and girls have been discriminated against in and excluded from civil society, all aspects of it, specifically on the basis of sex. All of the men making all of the laws for all of that time knew exactly what the word sex meant, and they deliberately kept us out because we are women and girls. And now, with the redefinition of sex to include gender identity, we are supposed to pretend that none of that exists. And I should also mention that.
Hey, do you want to know how we built a $50 million coaching company with just one 45-minute presentation? Look, if you're an expert, author, speaker, coach, consultant, or if you solve a major life or business challenge in your work, then this is for you. If that's not you, go ahead and click skip. But if that is you, then pay very close attention, because this video has the power to transform your life and your business. My name is Russ Ruffino, and I've built a coaching company that does between $1 million and $1.5 million.
Hi, big man.
The Women's Declaration has been signed by 13,000 people all over the world, including 1,600 in the United States. Women are standing up. We are not having it. And what the executive order that President Biden signed on Wednesday, federal agencies to take a look at their own policies and practices and see where sex is defined, and to essentially redefine the word sex to include gender identity. And what this will have the impact of doing is obliterating women and girls' sex-based rights at a federal level.
So I should say that you describe yourself and have on this show as a radical feminist, a sincere feminist on the left. You've said this before in public. You've been saying you're one of the very few. You have been really attacked. I don't think I'm overstating that. I think people gone after you. More people on your side, traditional feminists, saying what you're saying right now.
So there are a couple things going on. That is absolutely true. Several of us held an event last year at a public library, and as we left the event, hundreds of people ran after us screaming and threatening us. And this happens to women and also men, but mostly women who stand up against this gender identity movement. I also just do want to say, regarding the executive order, it does a lot of things, but looking just at the title of the executive order, it combines gender identity. And I just want to make it very clear that these two things are very different. And the lesbians and gay men who I know do not want anything to do with this movement. Sex is grounded in material reality, as you said, and that matters a great deal to people whose sexual orientation matters, which is all of us. And the lesbians and gay men that I know want to have nothing to do with this. And I think it's important that people understand this. We need to stop saying LGBT. We need to stop saying sexual orientation and gender identity.
I'm just laughing because one of my producers is agreeing with you in my ear. I think one of the reasons that people are afraid to speak up against this is they don't want to be seen as anti-gay or intolerant. But, I mean, this is a political decision to include a lot of people who don't necessarily have anything in common under one heading so that no one will complain about it. That's my read.
I think that's right. And also, I just want to say, where did this come from and why is this happening? One, this is rank misogyny, and it is coming from the left. Two, there is a tremendous amount of money behind this movement. And if your viewers are interested in learning more about that, because I know we don't have time tonight, please visit the 11th Hour blog. It's literally the number 11th Hour blog. It goes into extraordinary depths to explain where the money is coming from and why this movement is so well funded. And third, we know that this movement has accomplished all that it has been able to accomplish, leading and up to and including this executive order by stealth.
Yep.
It has been documented that this was a deliberate strategy to go behind the people's backs, behind the media's backs, behind journalists' backs, and infect every.
So, and the question is why. I really hope that you will come back. I think this matters. It's, people write it off as, who cares, bathrooms, whatever. No, this is foundational. You obviously understand that. You're brave enough to say it out loud. I appreciate it. Kara Dansky, thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And it is foundational. Sex differences are not just something that we made up at one point. They're the
There's a terrible curse that plagues guitar players once they reach the intermediate stage. I call it guitar playing limbo.
No.
the building blocks of human civilization. But also the source of so much beauty. They would make life worth living, actually, in a lot of ways. Destroy those and we lose a lot, maybe everything. Well, we've got some exclusive reporting for you tonight. In Joe Biden's first day in office, the Department of Homeland Security issued a sweeping directive calling for a 100-day pause on deportations. We reported that last night. We now have an internal email sent yesterday to ICE officers in Texas that shows how this order was enacted. And we're quoting, "As of midnight tonight, stop all removals. This includes Mexican bus runs, charter flights, and commercial removals until further notice. All cases are to be considered no significant likelihood of removal in foreseeable future." In other words, stop sending people here illegally back to the country of origin. The official goes on to say this, and we're quoting, "Release them all immediately. No sponsor available is not acceptable any longer." The official notes in the email that he is just, quote, the messenger explaining the directive. It wasn't his idea, it was Joe Biden's. Now, this email was news to us. Friday's memorandum from the Biden administration to halt deportations did not call for people here illegally to be released from detention.
In about a week.
We made some calls today and we learned that Homeland Security is currently hammering out how to enact the memorandum, instant release of all migrants in detention. So what was this memo about? Just the result of the complete chaos that resulted when the incoming administration on its first day changed a policy this big without explaining what it means. Chaos. Well, we thought the last.
Oh, what's going on? Okay, I don't think I can hear you.
It's me. It was on me. Had a little trouble with my
Yeah, man, like
mute
so
button.
much going on. Yeah,
How's the first
it
one
happened.
hitting you?
Well, it is what it
I
it is what it
really deer in headlights, like
is. It is what it is.
hey.
You know, it's a lot of things that's happening at one time, and it's a lot going on right now. As far as the first 100 days, I already know I already know the legislation that's going down the pipeline. I'm trying to catch it. Trying to do things as fast as I can before they touch, like
Yeah, I know. It's
it
like
is gonna be some I don't even want to say what it. I don't even want to say. I don't even want to mention it because I don't want them to watch it and go, "Oh, we need to attack this tomorrow." You know.
yeah. Well,
But
I know. I mean, there's some changes that I'm gonna.
but just say just protect your boomsticks and your freedom seeds because you won't even be able to get anything online or purchase anything through online sources pretty soon if everything goes to his plan.
I know. It's
And I could say more, but it'll definitely have to be based on the laws that are already on the House floor. So, yep, a lot is going on right now.
I mean, let me just say this. Can you believe that we're here right now? I mean,
No,
I mean, you look absolutely stunned right now.
but no, I prepared for it. It just sucks. It sucks. It is what it is. But it's crazy because just talking to certain people about the situation, they really don't know nothing about what Biden got coming in. If you start using,
So they are so on that low hanging fruit.
that's
And
all
can I say this? I'm this close to saying to swearing online, and I haven't done it. I haven't done it, and I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, if I break that first barrier,
Well, you're on the right channel.
Oh gosh.
It's crazy though, man. Don't blame.
So yeah, I mean, I
Martin
don't
Luther
know.
King Day. What did black?
You mean that situation where that individual was dancing in the front of a phallus, like an obelisk? Somebody else describe it to a T. Like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Working with the
That was
with the American flag.
It's like, is this what we're doing? We're going down. We're going down in the flag shorts. Is this what we're doing? This is oh my God. Yeah, but see that organization, it was already.
This is culture, huh? Imagine people just pulling up to America, and that's the first thing they see in the airlines. Just it's Martin Luther King.
But when you say it really did look like an old school, like a 90s music. It did look like an old school video. It looked low budget. It was ridiculous.
It definitely was low budget. I could have did it.
I mean, it didn't look.
T3i.
It's not. I don't even care. There's nothing that they could have done to dress that up. It's just. It was trash. Okay. We just put it like this. It was trash.
God. That's the black community, huh?
But that is not. These people are absolutely. DJ, I swear they have been turned over to what they call. There's some kind of dark. It's almost like these people are under a spell. You understand? You know what I mean?
They're under a spell. Yeah. They're under a spell.
Look at the stuff that's going on. I mean, look at the whole. If you just look at the last 6 months, last 3 to 6 months, it's the same things that people talk about. The same talking points. And they just regurgitate them over and over and over, no matter what's going on. Now, let me ask you this. Now, I'm not going to get into it too deep, but when I think about, for example, the Capitol situation, how I've heard people say, "Oh, people were saying that was racist." Well, what black neighborhood did they go into? They went to the source with their grievance. So, what neighborhood did they go to? What neighborhood were the people that went to the Capitol? Where did they go with all their?
They just locked up one of the individuals that was a self-proclaimed Antifa member and Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
They locked his butt up. But yeah, I was one of the first people to post, get this dude out of our city, and because the first thing he said when he came down here was, "We're gonna burn this motherfucker down," and woo woo and blah blah blah.
would have ever been able to
Then
get away with
so what he did was the video showed what he did was he which I'm gonna play in a second. What he did was he came in and he knew from when he was in the hotel talking to friends. He was saying, "Yeah, I gotta jump up. I gotta dress up as a Trump supporter because I won't be able to get in." He planned everything, infiltrated, came in, and then hyping people up that were there. And I guess he figured that were drunk or whatever the case may be, and just hyped up the energy and told them, "Come on, but you supposed to be a camera guy." And the way he got in was telling the police that he was a reporter until they recognized his face eventually. But it's just it's crazy. It's just it's a bunch of it's a bunch of stuff that's about to go down the pipe that people don't even know and understand. A bunch of
No, they don't
regulations,
care.
a bunch of
They don't care. That's the thing. They don't care about what they don't
no, they're
know.
not. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. They're like,
I
well,
mean,
they tell me it's wrong to think like that. I'm like, just because I'm too political.
probably because they're afraid of it. They're afraid of the truth. Is that what it is?
Of course,
I
of course. It feels comfortable to think in a bubble than to think outside the box.
well, these people. I mean, did you see that inaugural ritual? Did you see that?
Yes, it was
It was straight up not for the people. I would have put it there. It was, you know,
it was it was insane. Oh, it's like, come on, you're not stupid. We are not this stupid country that can't see it. Yeah. I,
well,
I don't know. I'm gonna just keep posting it so people can see. But if he clicks, it clicks. If it doesn't,
it's just,
it's just
I swear,
man.
somebody needs. There should just be a channel just for these cultural issues that are just wild. It seems that we've become more. It seems like we've become more detached with reality. We're not tuned and more tapped in these times. We
Like
are
so
going
far,
further that way.
like so
We're going that way.
they believe everything the television says. Crazy. It's the Matrix. We be living in a real. If the TV didn't say, and it's funny because David Blaine did an experiment in which he created a experiment for an individual. A family member asked for him to be put in this experiment. It was to turn every television and every transportation. They brought actors out for the buses to act like it was the end of the world. They changed the television to their own television station so they could reenact it's the end of the world on TV. So by the third of the day, by the third hour of the day, they already believed the world had ended, that everybody's dead, that you gotta find any loved ones that you don't think are dead. It's gonna be a list. It's just insane. I mean, and this is all acting. So just experiments have been created just to see if this could even work, and it's working before our eyes. I mean, it's two things:
I mean,
systematic,
it's been an
ideological.
emotional week, DJ. It's been because of what you're describing. It's been an emotional week because it's the zombies. They're freaking zombies. Yeah, they're zombies. Am I being mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they're zombies.
No, no, no. You're not being mean at all. I mean, you're not being mean at all. I mean, it's definitely sometimes you go back in time and try to figure out how did we get this far? It wasn't the first time, but
like I said, they're always going for the low hanging fruit. Oh, did you see what they were wearing? Did you see Big Mike? Did you see this person? Yeah, it's the old regime. It's like the elite. That was an elite event that had nothing to do with the people. I mean, that's just my sentiment for it. You know, they were giddy as heck. Even Pence was giddy as heck. Did you see that? I mean, they were. They should have. If they had a high five to rubbing shoulders, and what are the chances? It seems like I heard a long time ago, a while back. Now I don't want to get in. I usually don't put things out there that I can't back up. But did I hear? Did you ever hear?
I think you're going.
Did you ever hear that he was considering that the big guy was considering Clinton for another office in the cabinet? Did you ever hear that? Let's see. I don't know. I can't really hear you.
Nope.
Let me see.
First time, but I don't doubt it. I ain't gonna. Your reception's going in and out a little bit.
Yeah, I just reset. I just hit the Wi-Fi. Can you hear me now? I just hit. Let me see.
Yeah.
Is it any better now? Let's see. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah. I mean, I would be surprised. I mean, and I was watching. I don't know if you're familiar with Angela Stanton King. She was talking about how she kind of combed through these EOs, and she was like, "What did you guys have voted for this? Did you guys get any EOs out of the 17?" DJ, I don't know if it's my internet. It seems like my internet's having some issues. Really.
Oh man, sure.
Is it yours or is it mine? Maybe I should go out and come back in. I can reset mine and then go out and come back in.
Well, mine's like.
Let's see, because I've had a lag. I've had a lag recently. Like even just on my show, I've had a lag between whatever I say, and that's actually new. I have not had that before. But it seems like it's something that started this week or last week that I started having that split lag.
All right, that's what you know.
Hang on just a second.
Yeah, you good now.
Okay, so I've been having a little bit of a lag, even on my show between what I say, just a slight lag. And that's new. That's something that I haven't been having. So, yeah, but I saw you. What were you watching? What were you doing with I've been watching a little bit of the Tatum show. Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of the Tatum show.
Yeah. I mean, between Tatum, Guns and Gadgets, a few 2A guys, and we all going through these first 100 days executive orders, all of them. I mean, from the 2A guys, they splitting down those House bills and House resolutions that were already on the books. He just going to fully approve them or executive order them and pass them through. Or the reassignment surgeries and taxpayer money ordinance and bathrooms, the whole gambit with the putting that in the no discrimination towards children that want to become another gender thing. The executive order. So I don't know how that became an executive order, but yep, we could do about it. So if your baby girl comes home and wants to be a baby boy, nothing you can do. But
That's
yeah,
it's a lot.
living in another world, you know. Yeah, right. Overnight.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is what it is. But
it's a lot to
we've
deal
seen a
with.
lot of these things coming. It's changing homes. It's changing everything. It's changing what's going to be in your schools. Mm.
It is very much. It is very much that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what is what at this point there is no such thing as waking up. You're already in it now. You know what I mean? I don't think you can just turn this wake up now. You've lost a lot of time. You know what I mean?
You know, mm.
So I was glad that you were on because I haven't done a late. I mean, I'm itching for one of those. Itching for one of those, but you know, with the music and all, like just for old time's sake, I'm thinking I'm gonna set up one of those one day this weekend, if not tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it'll like maybe Sunday. But so how's your area? Are things pretty calm around there? And how's work going?
Yeah, the police. I said the police. The National Guard. A lot of them left. A lot of them left, but a lot of them are still here, just around the Capitol. But other than that, a lot of them left. Around my job, it's smooth. Day after inauguration, they left. That was it. But
No way.
they still but as far as the shutdown, they still shutdown being pushed until I guess the 30th. So after the 30th, we'll know. We'll know if we could open back up. I don't want to do 4 to 30 days shutdown. Yeah. Yeah, like we already put everything in our head before it happened. Just prepare and blah blah blah. They was giving us our hours back. We gotta push that back because the mayor has to wait for Joe Biden to give the say so on what he's gonna do.
Yeah, you're in that area.
Yep, I have to wait for Washington. Yeah, I work in DC, so I work 2 blocks away from the Capitol.
So is that a long commute for you? Is it a longer
Send a message
commute
to me.
or what's that?
No, it's not. It's the same. It's the same amount of time it took
Same
for me to
distance
get to my
back.
other. Yep, we got one thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Okay. I had a good laugh before I came in here. I was Brandon Tatum. I was laughing at him, a couple of days ago. So I think he's pretty fed up.
Right. Oh. He said the first night, like he just like he had his whole name title of his video was I didn't expect for me to be this mad, to be this upset. Of course you didn't. Who would?
I
Who
need.
knew that?
Where's the popcorn? I've got cauliflower stalks for this live stream.
Hey, give me some dip. I'll eat some too.
Well, they're those the chips. They're little chip things. But yeah, ay.
Manage work like this. That's why I use Monday.com. My team uses it to manage projects, sales, recruitment.
Guys, there's a reason why precedence is so important in politics. What happened before matters because that kind of dictates the protocol for how to handle things moving forward in the future. Now, the Democrats are playing with a dangerous precedent, right? By essentially, to a certain extent, over-exaggerating and dramatizing what happened at the Capitol. They may have put themselves in a hole in which the Biden administration is going to have to live up to that anti-violence, anti-protest, anti-riot rhetoric that they spewed all day long for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and they're still going to continue to do it probably for the next 4 years against Trump supporters. I mean, why should we be surprised? It took them 4 years to get something that they've been asking for, even though we've been violent for the last 6, 7, 8 months, almost on a day-to-day basis. Now, unsurprisingly, the violence from the left still continues as these anarchist groups on the West Coast just won't stop until they get their way, which is to overthrow the government. And we're going to see if Biden is going to put his money where his mouth is and actually do something about this before it's Rick Foreman. You're watching the Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black Conservative Perspective, aka a leftist worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. Let's get it.
So it's 10:30 on a Wednesday, and apparently I've sold close to $3,000 in sales on Amazon already. Don't.
All right, guys. So a day after the inauguration, some left-wing groups, I'm thinking that this is Antifa, protested and had like a basic small riot in Oregon and vandalized things in response to Joe Biden's inauguration. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, these people are still going at it. They still want to protest in the streets. What is going to satisfy these people?
Nothing.
However, I came to the conclusion very
government.
quickly that nothing will satisfy these people until the government is overthrown. So let's read about what happened. Police arrested 8 people on Wednesday after the Democratic Party headquarters in Portland, Oregon was vandalized hours after President Joe Biden's inauguration. The building doors and windows were smashed. A small dumpster was lit on fire, and graffiti reading, quote, "Breonna Taylor deserves justice," and "F. Biden" was sprayed on the outside walls, according to videos filmed at the scene mid-afternoon by reporters for NBC Portland affiliate KGW. Now, this is an important point, right? The whole Breonna Taylor deserves justice thing. This is the Democrats playing up the idea that systemic racism is so bad that it affected somebody like Breonna Taylor, that she's a victim of this horrific racist country. That type of rhetoric, right, is what has led people to become eternally upset about what happened with Breonna Taylor, and the Democrats also pushing the conspiracy that Daniel Cameron, the attorney general, was somehow compromised and forced by the white supremacists to not charge the officers involved in that case. Okay? Pushing that type of rhetoric, right, is leading to this. Okay? And I have to say this because the Democrats keep saying, oh, well, you know, Trump's election claims are leading to right-wing violence. Right. Okay, if I give you that, then you have to acknowledge that the claims that you're making about Breonna Taylor, saying that it's systemic racism when there's no proof that what happened to Breonna Taylor was racist, that also is causing issues and making people more extreme. So let's read more here, and then I'll show you guys. The police said some of the people, of about 150 people, carried weapons, including Molotov cocktails, knives, batons, chemical spray, and a crowbar. Yeah, these are dangerous people, guys. These are dangerous people. I mean, these people are going out in the streets armed. Some members of the crowd met in Southeast Portland before heading to the Democratic Party offices, dressed in black and carrying banners reading, quote, "We don't want Biden, we want revenge for police murders, imperialist wars, and fascist massacres," and quote, "We are ungovernable," according to published by The Oregon. This is the Democrat Party's problem. Okay, this is their version of the extreme right. Okay, they're telling the Democrats, we're ungovernable. We're ungovernable. And I would say this, they're even more extreme than anything I've seen on the extreme right. These people just straight up calling for an insurrection. Democrats are, insurrection. These people are straight up calling for insurrection.
You say?
That was, I didn't finish. That was a good stream. Was that from Tatum? Should play that one.
No, this is from the. It is this one.
I didn't realize they had done that.
There you go. Yeah, here go the flag right here.
Iraq, people wouldn't say this looks just like ISIS. What's the difference between,
you see what I'm saying?
Between this and ISIS, guys?
This is good.
Tell me, what's the difference between this and ISIS? This looks like something I've seen from ISIS.
The new ISIS.
I'm so serious. But yeah, again, these people are never classified as domestic terrorists. These are not the people that the media is telling us that we need to be afraid of, that we need to rein in, that need to be censored.
No,
and this
not.
is why
He's right about that.
Like, this is crazy.
Mainstream media is such a joke, guys. And again, it's up to us on the right.
It's crazy.
When did they declare them as DTs?
The only person who declared them as DTs were who? Trump. And everybody said that, even our new president said that idea.
Yeah.
An idea. Well, you have to go to this book and start reading.
This is not.
No, Marx, your boy Marx. And there's more than an idea. It's definitely more than an idea, but it's I guess it's cute. It's insane. I can't believe that we are falling for it, but we're only falling for it because we don't understand the ideology of people who come from outside this country who still love the country. They think that hating the country. It was a liberal that was on Instagram, and she had requests of her being running for office, and she had to be honest because she knew the truth. She said, "You know what? Only reason why I can't run for office because my whole slogan would be "F this country." Exactly. That's how liberals think. When I say 100% liberal, just every pinpoint of a liberal, but not to be so one-sided, but to the point where you know that for a fact, so you won't run. What? TV shows. You said they'd kick me out within the first 30 days because my whole slogan would be F this country. My God.
Well, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna get a lot worse.
F this country than shit.
Well, but you know, there are some things that are starting to become really clear. Some things that are becoming really clear that it's actually, to me, they want to talk about disparities and all this stuff. That gap is going to widen. Is under this administration. It is. Is that manifesto? The manifesto, yeah.
The Communist Manifesto.
Everything they're doing,
yeah.
Even this whole accord and all that stuff, all that comes out of that philosophy, all of it. It's like you know
exactly.
But people that are
steal from the rich, give to the poor, and what it say, and
but it's
abolish
than that.
and abolish private property. They can
See,
take your stuff
that's
because
another thing.
they want and abolish private property, so they can take your stuff because because you got your foot on their neck. So when they take your stuff, it's okay. It's crazy. It's just crazy nonsense. So you're gonna tell me I finally get my own stuff, my own property, and it's okay. You can take it because I got my foot on your necks. Get out of here and get a damn job. Like seriously,
It's not.
crazy.
I mean,
Once you get to reading and
like
stuff,
we're losing. We're certainly losing. It's a bad situation, is what I will say, without a doubt, and I really don't see an end to it. I see things getting, we have no idea what's in store.
like I said, writing that proclaimed a revolution against the rich, after which private property would be abolished and farms and factories will be owned by the people who work in them. Can you imagine what that would even look like?
It's gonna look like you're gonna have to get out. You're gonna do what they say do, or who knows? This is
the mob owns everything. Literally.
Yeah. Well, this is coming out of the World Economic Forum. By 2030, they said you will own nothing and you will be happy. That's exactly that's what they're saying.
2030.
And that's where the whole blueprint comes from. The Party of Davos and the UN. Those two are lockstep. And yeah.
You got to
I believe it, because even operating a gas powered car is supposed to be here, CFR and what's his name was big time member, pretty much they kind of use that as that's like a clubhouse in itself for the elite. Look who's there. It's about time. I didn't see about time there. About time should come up here. About time you coming in for old time's sake. Swing. Cheers.
Swing. Hey, let me same old. You know how we do. But appreciate y'all for coming on. Like, follow, share, and subscribe. It's a chill chat about important topics. That's what we're on today. I got my book. I'm reading from a lot of things. We got the Council of Foreign Relations. And we'll read every perspective. And this is the book. The conspiracy book, quote unquote. A chronological journey through secret societies and hidden stories. And my man, I knew he was going to join. I appreciate you for coming on, man.
How you doing, Autumn?
Hi, about time. How's it going? It's been a lifetime.
Right.
Time.
All is well, bro. All is.
This is I was just telling DJ, I'm like, it's time for us to have one of those. It's time to kick those moonlight back in.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Time to kick those back in for old time's sake. Because
it's about that time. It's about that time.
Bizarro land for you. What about
but
time?
Old time's
So how long you guys been on?
Man, what's going on over there?
It snowed again today. It snowed yesterday.
For about 15 minutes. Now I've been on for about an hour. It's going on about an hour now.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So what are you guys talking about? Huh? Getting into some trouble up in here?
Bizarro land.
Yeah.
Well,
is it feeling like Bizarro? Is it about time? I don't
oh,
know. I'm
we're
trying not
talking
to
about what's
panic,
going
but
on.
it's like it's time to head for the hills.
Yeah, I'm already in the hills. So I'm good.
It's time to head for this
Exactly. And I
time.
didn't buy
Well,
my
I
land
can't
yet.
go any further. I can't go any further west. So all I can do is turn around and go back away.
All right, come on up here, Autumn. I got you. I got you covered, girl.
I'm bringing my guns.
Oh my God!
We don't need guns. You got me.
Oh my gosh! But seriously, it's like
I know you got the
what are we
guns.
doing? Let me put this in a nutshell. We're running from platform to platform. Oh, no, go to Rumble, go to Telegram, go to this, go to that, go to BitChute, go to Brighteon, go to this, go to Parler. They're running us right off the cliff.
Yeah, I got you. So, what are we gonna do, Autumn? What are we gonna do? Just sit back and watch? What are we gonna do?
That's a good question about time. I don't know what else to do. All I can do is I have a plan for myself that I have to implement soon. But other than that, I'm just thinking what are you gonna do? Is everybody gonna move to Texas? Where are you going?
Yeah. All right. I got a great one for you. All right. Texas succeeds from the Union. Donald Trump goes in. 20 states follow him. We got it made. Right? Texas has all the oil anyway. So, hey, it would be a sweet maneuver. It would be sweet.
But did I not hear something bizarre about? I think I saw something bizarre about the people there, that people were losing their jobs and people were laughing at them. Like, what is
Laughing at
going
who?
on? Like people that I think that, like, what was it, the Keystone Pipeline, and then some of the other jobs. Because the thing about it is, if people are losing the oil industry, if that sector starts to fold, does that not mean that our utilities would go up? It's going to cost more to heat your home.
Oh my God, driving your car, of course.
At the pump, $6 to $8 a gallon.
Yeah.
Gas. I mean, I'm saying this is not funny.
Yo,
Not me.
this dude, this Democrats, but him, Biden, it's him now, but it's really
It's the coalition.
Right? Yeah, yo, fuel and all the costs are going to go through the roof. He raised the minimum. The executive orders are retarded. Just on doing Trump's things, that's fine, whatever. That's your game. But okay, you're going to ruin our country in a minute. But all right, let's do it. It's not going to be in a minute. It's going to take a year. But these people that voted for him, these people that wanted this, are going to realize they're going to get exactly what they wanted. You know what I mean? And then they also are going to wake up.
But it's happening. It's like I'm stunned at the people that I'm like, oh, this person knows what's going on. Oh, this person's how did this happen?
Right.
How did this happen? But then you got a lot of people, a big percentage of the population that they're all, like I told him, they're zombies. You can't
exactly.
They just keep saying the same thing. Their response for everything is racism. And
They just don't care. They don't care.
I told DJ, I said,
don't care.
I've heard people say that people going to the Capitol was racist. Okay, but what? So you mean tell me they passed up all the ghettos, the hoods, and everything to go to the Capitol? Wouldn't they go into
black guys there?
Why wouldn't they go into the community?
Guys there with their feet.
Well, I'll tell you, check this out. I'll tell you my experience.
These racists will run.
Open for conversation. Democrat, Republic, whoever. I'm open for conversation. So I'm trying to have an intelligent conversation with folks, right? So I was down with my sister's doing some work, and her fiance, he's an older guy. He's like my dad's age. He's in his 60s or whatever. And he's so like, he says he's a Republican, but after a conversation with him,
Right.
he's not. And it's really
Exactly.
these people. They hate Trump so bad, and they can't even explain
They
themselves.
do. They do.
for it.
You're so right. You're so right. Like I had a Lyft driver today, and I asked him. I said, what you think about this guy Biden? He said, Trump. I said,
You froze,
man,
DJ. You froze.
like I know you just being crazy.
We
Hey,
didn't hear you.
can you hear me?
Yeah, do it again. Do it again. Say it again, bro. He froze again.
Am I good now? Am I good now?
I think so.
Okay, keep going.
Good.
It's like you have no sound. I hear no sound.
I'm good now.
I think you're good now.
Oh.
Okay. You have to excuse
One
me.
person says they think I'm good. Somebody
I'm leaning.
else
Look, I'm
says I
I'm
don't have
turning
no
into
sound. Let me see.
I'm turning into a liberal. I start leaning into the screen nowadays.
Oh shit.
I need to feel the connection. So I gotta be into the screen nowadays.
All right, DJ, tell us what you were saying. I think we hear you now.
I'm trying to tell you. All right. So I was
No,
feel about
he
Biden.
froze. He's breaking up. You're breaking up, bro. Autumn, can you hear him?
I can't hear a thing. I can hear you. I see you. I can talk. I hear you. But okay, DJ.
So look, my man is still. I'm gonna rejoin.
All right, we'll stay here. We'll stay here. Back out and rejoin.
It's bizarro land. It's bizarro land about time, and
Yeah, big time, big time. But I love you. I love what you're doing.
well, but you know what? I don't know. I'm just thinking. I don't want to be on the run, on the virtual run, and on the run. I'm going to be running to the east anyway, and then I'm on the run virtually and digitally.
Well, if you're coming east, stop by here. I'll take care of you. I told you that.
I'm turning into a renegade. I'm turning into a refugee.
Yeah.
Hey, am I?
What's this song? You're good. You're good. What's the song? Who is it? Was it
Am I
Tom
good,
Petty?
refugee?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Living like a refugee. Don't have to live like a refugee.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's singing now. I got to pay for her.
See,
She's singing.
this is rare form. This is not good.
Getting into it. We getting into it. I'm gonna have to play that song.
Right.
Just
I like
because. Put it on the playlist.
Put it on. Put it on. I
But,
mean,
what I was saying was, since y'all can hear me now. Oh, I'll put it on. I'll put it on, and I definitely add it to the playlist.
you'll get a strike. You'll get a strike.
Featuring Black Screen with Autumn. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna invent a karaoke night just for Black Screen.
Right? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. That sounds good, DJ.
You know that's
But
that
we'll
would be.
all join in. Can't keep it boring. Can't keep it boring, guys.
You know what? It's funny. Somebody said to me.
At least we can get some agreements up here. For real.
Somebody said that the theme song should have been, was it Bon Jovi? Whoa, we're halfway there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't expect
That's
that.
a headbanger for you. That's a headbanger for you. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm in rare form, but
Well, she got long hair, so it's okay.
but I mean, seriously, like we need to break out these.
Yeah, she
break out these.
got the hair without mine. Hey, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's a reason why it said DJ Vision, because the DJ is first. The vision is second. So I used to create beats before I ever was a videographer or photographer. It was like right in line. So I used that.
Biden's coming for your guns, DJ. He's coming for them.
He ain't coming. Hey, it's okay because
he called me
I'm
up
gonna have
last
my
night. He's like,
AR-14.
I'm on my way to DJ's tomorrow night, and I'm taking his guns.
Yeah, and that's I said that earlier today. I said I'm gonna have to bring that up. My boy is gonna talk about specific laws, these House resolutions that are in the House now that you know he's gonna check the box and keep it moving. He's gonna approve them. We don't have the House. We don't have the presidency. We have to deal with the bullshit now and prepare for what can be fought. And the only place it can be fought is a Supreme Court, but that don't even matter because we don't have nothing else. So all we'll get is, we'll get a fight, but it depends on how close you get to quote unquote constitutional. That's the only thing that's gonna save the Second Amendment. How close you can use the words.
Wait. Go ahead, DJ. I will insert my point, but I'll be quiet until then.
No,
Okay.
go ahead.
Constitution.
Let her insert
Constitutional. And you're good now. I mean, I made my point. Let's get it.
Okay. So, I yield back. No, I take the balance of my time.
You can have the floor.
The floor recognizes you, Autumn.
Okay.
Yep, the floor recognizes Autumn.
Okay, so thank you. What I'm saying is, how long do you guys think the Constitution is going to survive?
That's a horrible question.
I mean,
that is the best question today.
But I don't think it's going to survive it.
For real.
But seriously. But you guys realize that everything that's coming out.
That's why I didn't like the question. I like that.
Hold on, one at a time, guys. One at a time.
It's going up in flames. As tonight, it's going up in flames. We can look outside every night and expect it's going to be aliens because this has to be universally astronomical. Like this never happened.
But wait. I'm saying
the only time this ever happened is when it seized Britain and captured the kings and queens.
All right, DJ, let Autumn talk for a second, bro. When you both talk at the same time, I can't hear you.
Okay. So what I was saying was, if this thing, the way it's going, I don't know if I see the Constitution lasting this whole term. Look at, I don't. I mean, I don't see that. But then also look at all the things that are being passed. They're using the law to protect them against us. They've got us surrounded. Do you see? They've kind of looped us into these. You're looped into this. They can track everything. What's to say? You know what I mean?
I know where you're going, girl.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna we're gonna drive to the ends of the earth, and then what? And we'll all end up in the same place, right? Like, is there nowhere to run? The song.
Yeah, I really think it's gonna come to bloodshed. I really do. That's my honest opinion. Give him a couple days, a week, a year. I think the Republicans, the Patriots, everybody had enough. And also a lot of the Democrats, the socialists, whatever you want to call them, they're going to get what they asked for, and they're going to realize, like, oh, shit, we're screwed. And the executive orders, I'm tired of them. Like, come on, Biden came in and just executive, undo Trump. Well, executive orders is a problem in itself. Obama did it. I think Trump did a few, but Obama was lighting them up. And so is
The only one Trump did was the bump stock thing. Trump did.
Yeah, but the everything that he's executive ordering is just on doing Trump. It's JPOC, AA with Iran. That's in the works.
Yeah.
And the Paris Accord. And
yeah.
it's like everything that just costs us money and loses our job and our economy, sells us out to China, you know.
We're gonna get on our knees and scrub our ankles.
That's right. That's right.
Wait, because I mean, we went over the Paris Accord. We went over the Paris Accord yesterday and today, and it's China and in India, $2.5 trillion. It has to be, and then it's a huge. I think it's a huge document. But because we are the developed nation, guess who has to make sure that those other countries stay on target? Like
I know. We're paying the bill and they're not doing shit. It's stupid. It's very stupid.
And supply and demand. It's
But
all.
look,
I'm telling you, it's like we're toast right about now. We're toast.
yeah, we're just printing money, handing it out. American dollar is just going to go down the tubes. And China will prevail. That's the real reality of it.
Dollar worth? I mean, how much? Somebody was telling me the other day that the dollar is only worth like somewhere between 66 cents. I'm like, is it? I mean,
It's probably very true, but I don't know at the moment. I really don't know. But 4 years of Biden, Kamala, it's not even going to take 4 years. I swear it's going to take a couple months. Definitely within a year. America's going to know we're screwed. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you're going to know, like, we just can't print money and enslave ourselves. Like, we're enslaving Americans, you know?
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I haven't even kept up with the 2A stuff. Like, what's going on with that stuff behind the scenes right now? What are they trying to put? What's on the docket? The extreme gun laws, like HR something
Hey,
5.
I'm about to show you real quick. Hey, I'm about to share a little bit of that right now, and then
Who's
gonna have
that?
some responses to that right now. Let's
All
get
right,
it.
guys. Good Boy 32 here. Check it out. So we're sitting out here on the back patio enjoying a cup of coffee by the fireplace. It's a beautiful day for
content
it. While we're out
streamer.
here, I just wanted to make some comments and share my thoughts about several videos that have come out concerning a publication called The Trace. Now, if you're not familiar about The Trace, what they are is they're an anti-gun group in the guise of they're doing and investigating gun violence in America. You know what you should do? Go to Southside Chicago. Investigate that. Okay? Let me know what your thoughts are. The last couple of days, there were a couple of videos, one by Coolion Noir and the other one by Mr. Guns and Gear, talking about a letter that was sent to several firearm manufacturers, virtue shaming them into trying to disassociate themselves from several YouTube influencers. Kristen Joy Weiss, when's the last time you ever heard
Big
her
silence
say anything
right now.
political? Such, I don't know that Such ever does anything political. I know Coolion Noir does. I know that Guns and Gear really doesn't touch on it. But there's several of that letter. And what they are trying to do is to basically try to social shame, virtue shaming, virtue blame, that these individuals were instrumental in influencing their viewers into supporting an insurrection.
Seriously.
Total bullshit and total misinformation. And it's a total lie. Absolutely a total lie. But this is what they do, folks. This is what the left does. They try to virtue me, no problem. You, all the problems. They can do whatever they want. But what they do is they get a collaboration. They get a bunch of people. Moms Demand Action Now. You got Everytown for Newtown. We got Bloomberg up there who's instrumental in all of this and providing money to anyone who will take it to push his agenda. I get really fired up when I start thinking about this, and that what they said in this article, which is absolutely crazy, and I'll put the link down below. But what they're trying to do, the bullet on this is extremism. Okay, so doesn't think like they do as an extremist, and it's the title of it is the gun rights rhetoric that helped seed the insurrectionist mindset. This is ridiculous. This is the mindset that these individuals have. Is that anybody with a firearm is an insurrectionist now? Anyone who doesn't think like them is an insurrectionist.
Right on.
Social shaming, virtue shaming, companies into dropping their association with several people because these individuals have this anti-gun group has labeled people who have nothing to do.
It's a fact.
With
Invoking the spirit.
I talk political. Hell, the other day, man, I went from getting a couple hundred subscribers a day to getting 67. I think it was in one day when I guess I said something bad about you too. Duke law professor Daryl Miller explains how a strain of Second Amendment advocacy convinced some Americans that they have the right to use violence against political opponents. I want to see numbers. I want to see people's names. I want to know exactly who they're referring to when they're talking about Second Amendment supporters supporting an insurrection. To be honest with you, the mainstream media, the left, they're as an insurrection. A bunch of people stormed the Capitol building, talking about using their firearms, showing up with firearms at the Capitol building. It's scary. A mob of hundreds of ardent Trump supporters breached the nation's Capitol on January 6th to halt the certification of electoral votes from November's election and keep the president in power. Is that what they thought? Are these people, they're labeling these individuals as insurrectionists, that they thought that they were going to be able to keep President Trump in power? Describe their causes as justified
Yeah, 1 second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Leader who told them, Donald Trump said, "You will never take back our country with a weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be
DJ's
strong."
breaking up. Your internet.
Did he go? Now go storm the Capitol. No, what they're doing is they're trying to paint a picture that Donald Trump told these individuals to go storm the Capitol, where he didn't. No one said that. These individuals right now, there's several other individuals who have actually been so.
I'm good. I pause it.
Yeah, I think you're good now. I think you're good now. It was breaking up there for a minute.
Associated with Black Matter or Antifa. What are those guys doing at that rally? Just this morning, somebody got arrested trying to make their way into the Capitol complex with 500 rounds of ammo. Crazy.
That's much better.
President Trump has used the rhetoric of insurrection. Hold on, let me use a liberal's voice. Are you guys ready for this? President Trump has used the rhetoric.
That was that 500 rounds kid that got stopped on Pennsylvania Avenue. He was an SPO. They let him go eventually. He was a special police officer. Same job I got.
Yeah, I think he was legit. I don't think he was there for any.
The rounds probably had something to do with his job.
Yeah.
He was legit. They ended up letting him go, but it was so much of a paranoia that, as far as timing went, it was off. It was alarming. So the news had to say something.
Yeah, exactly. Like make a big deal out of nothing. He was that was his business.
They need views. When something happens and it doesn't happen, they need views.
Yeah, he did an interview and he actually was lost and asked the cops for directions and said, "I have a gun in the car," and that was his interview, And I believe him because you're not that stupid to go in there with arms and be like, "Yo, I got guns and ammo in the car," That was just bullshit, all bullshit, just for the, like you said, the views.
Yep, just for the views. When something's supposed to be accepted, when you got 20, 25, 26,000 troops in the vicinity, you're expecting something to happen on the news, or it's just gonna feel like bullshit, or they're gonna know something's up if they realize that It just
DJ,
armed to the
are
teeth
you
for nothing.
pissed off?
All of them had
Are,
no
are you pissed off that there's 26,000 troops in Washington, D.C.?
Pissed off ain't the word. My word is I already knew what happened. The troops were honest enough to tell local law enforcement the reason why they were out there. People thought they were going to off Biden and blame it on a Trump supporter. So we get it now. We get it. So I'm here to tell the people that's the real reason why they were there. They thought somebody was going to off Biden or Trump. It didn't matter who. And it didn't matter which one died because they were still going to blame it on the Trump supporter. And that was going to fulfill their destiny into cementing the angry anise and hatred for Trump supporters for eternity. It would have cemented it. So if it would have happened, they did find a whole bunch of guys with guns. They found this, they found that. We do got a whole bunch of bolos and all that stuff.
My point is, if you need 26,000 troops to get a president inaugurated, that really means the people don't want that fucking president.
Not even just that. That really means that it's not a president, it's called a czar. You have an emperor that's going to use his might and his mighty fist and his strength of power to crush anybody that opposes him. And I'm finally able to breathe the air and oxygen in which he sees his world. It's different than ours. We see each other as equals. He doesn't. He lives in a world in which we're shrimps in his pond. And he's the big lobster that can crush us at any moment. So it's up to you to realize what he sees you at.
I agree with you, but he's sadly mistaken. You know, just divide the country. You know, he's like, oh, unite the country. No, dividing it more. You know.
Yeah. So,
and I know you two are with me.
The worst part about
That's
it
why I'm here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And your thoughts, Autumn? I'll be right back.
Okay, what were you guys talking about? So I'm going to jump in. Where I came back in, I was. Are you guys?
All right, give us your thoughts on the whole Biden thing. The 26,000 troops in the inauguration. Give us your thoughts.
I think that there were a bunch of. I think that they kind of use those troops as really as disposables. They just kind of flick them off and flick them around. There's no respect for the soldiers. They were part of the, they became a part of something that they didn't know. I don't think they knew how they were being used. Do you know what I mean? Like,
very true. That's a shame. Very true. I look like way above that. Like that's like I get you, like 100%. I get you. But I look at it like this: like if there's 26,000 troops for a presidential inauguration, it means we don't want that president.
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying. And then I saw someplace where somebody says, "Well, this looks like a dictator taking over. This is the way."
Exactly. He's a czar. He's a czar. He's a new czar, an emperor. We have to hail him. If we don't hail him, we're next.
But it's like they're demanding. I'm just thinking, do people not realize that?
Literally, this is the show of power. That's exactly what I said before you came back on.
I can't hear you guys.
He's literally showing his force of power and his force of strength. Oh, sorry.
Well, what I was saying was that that place looks like a prison. It looks like they were being rounded up. There were a whole bunch of, the confusion is in place for a reason. I think that the confusion that we see from the visual representations of everything, it's all by design to keep everybody away from the real objective. You know what I mean? If you put enough stuff around, and to me, that's a tactic too. If not only are you distracting, but you're creating a state. You staged it for confusion. So if anything were going off, you'd be looking over here. You know, you could, oh, but I saw this. Meanwhile, something else was going on. But I'm saying, if you won, see, this is my thing about it. I've heard everybody says, oh, well, he just needs to prove he ain't got no proof of what he's saying that they did with the E. But I'm just thinking, well, but all he asked, he had a reasonable request, and I would think, as a sitting president and as a citizen, why can't you prove that you did not? Prove that you didn't do this.
I'm with you on that one.
If you, I mean, on a level, prove you didn't do it. Just take everything else away. You say you didn't. I say you did. Everybody bring what you have to the table. Bring it.
They wouldn't allow it.
And so, and that's what I'm saying. And then when you go to the social media part of all of this, I think he started saying, I think he said for a long time, they're not after you. They're not after me. They're after you. Because he's going to be all right. Okay, let me put it down here where the cows can get it. He had money coming into this thing. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
These Q-ites and this little cult over here, this little clique over here. No, he is fine. But how are you doing? How are you doing? You're wigged out. But how are you going to be doing? He's going to be all right. But there's no savior there. Where is it? What's the savior for this situation? There isn't one. You have to either fight for your not. Let me watch my words.
I knew you was gonna say. I knew you was about to say the word. Fight for your rights.
Don't incite a capital riot.
Hey,
I'm not even in a position to throw a tomato to catapult a tomato right now. So don't take my word for it. I'm saying you have to defend your rights, not just a person. It can't be about a person anymore. You have to defend what's at stake. You defend your rights. The objective is wrong.
Yeah, you know what I tell people, Autumn?
Facts.
I tell anybody and everybody, this country, this government, these juries did not give me my rights. God gave me my rights.
But, you know, and I don't mean to be Debbie Downer or negative Nelly or any of that stuff. But I'm just thinking that, you know, and I've heard everything. Oh, well, he's creating a new party. But what does that do about the corruption? This was about corruption. Remember this.
It's not going to stop.
Right. Not even that. The whole premise. I know because I talked to a few big head conservatives that we are trying to do the Patriot Party, but if we want, the only way we want to create it, only way specifically, is if we create a vetting system in which we have to guarantee that you won't be a traitor or infiltrator, and that has to that's high class social engineering. That's the only way.
You're talking a revolution, DJ. You're talking a revolution.
Not even just a revolution, because a revolution is from the inside. I'm talking about if you want to crystallize the Republican Party and make them what they were supposed to be, the only way you could do that is to separate them, put them off to the side, and I got a book right here that's specifically about how these things are done. From the first international, the second international, the third international, and other secret societies who have created conservative views that always fought against the liberal ideology. But in total, views only failed at the premise of once you meet the globalist agenda, and as soon as you meet there, you start to go liberal and you don't even realize it. But I'm gonna give you a few things to reference in order for me to explain what I'm saying. In the meanwhile, one of you guys can go ahead and give your commentary.
All right. Well, my thing is, it's definitely like what you're saying is it's not from the inside, but it has to be from the inside. And these parties, at today's point, me and I think so many other people are like, there is not Republican and Democrat anymore. It's all about greasing their back wallets, and they're not for us anymore. None of them.
So speaking of which, I just found the subsection in which I was talking about. It's called the John Birch Society, 1959. So it says, even in the most paranoid, these are those who think that no one else are paranoid enough. But in the United States, in the red baiting 1950s, that's what they call the red baiting time. As us Republicans like to red pill people, they call this red baiting. Was no exception. No matter how frantically politics and the media tried to find communists for every bed and handcore friends on the far right insisted that these Slack proves that they were communist dupes, that friends finally found the ends voices in 1950 and 1959. Robert Welch Jr. Welch was a successful businessman who became convinced that America's politics, economics, and social institutions crawling with communist agents. In 1959, using the business connections, he invited influential conservatives to a series of seminars where he urged them to join him in founding a new organization to lobby for sterning measures. The Red Threat. A name of the new society was provided by John Birch, a Baptist minister in China killed by the communists in 1945, whom Welch considered the first casualty of the Cold War. Okay, we lost the person. The first casualty of the Cold War in 1945, John Birch. The John Birch Society grew rapidly in its first year with 16,000 members by the end of 1960, but it soon became under fire on only from liberals, but from less experienced conservatives as well. Welch and his supporters responded by convincing themselves that capitalism, no less than communism, was controlled by the sinister conspiracy of insiders, discreet what is it from the Bavarian Illuminati, seeking to expose a new world order on the world using tactics borrowed from the Chronicles of the Elders of Zion. These beliefs provided too extreme for many of the society members, but the organization survived the resulting downturn and remains active today. So this literal organization, secret society, blah blah blah, they have brought up. They are the ones who combine the nationalist, the globalist theology with the conservative movement, obviously. And this is where it spawns. So we need to actually understand the origins in which we adopt some of these understandings so we can get further conclusions on our future premise. What are your takes on that article, Black Spring Without?
Well, I mean, these people have been around for a long time. I mean, we've had decades of presidents, and I just think that we're dealing with a lot of illusions, and their plans have been in place. I think, the plans were in place decades ago. This is a new agenda by any stretch.
Yeah, you're reading.
They knew what they were going to do, and I even think that the whole left-right paradigm thing is even revealing itself to be, because they make it seem like they're united in
it's crazy because I already know what it is. It's three parties that were invented before they created all these other parties. It was the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, and the Anti-Masonic Party. That was the third party of all the other two. So with these two parties, they both had Masons on each other's side. But you literally inside our fraternities, you got blue Masons, then you got red Masons. Yeah. It's politics. They created this rift inside of the psychological, ideological structure of individuals, in which they created societies along the rifts, so that they could grow and even if you look at any, for that matter, any fraternity, they have a ideological rift of other groups of people, similar to tribalism, but it also converts with a lot of it's tribalism, I guess you would say, because it's cliquing. It's going along with the cliques in your group, but at the same time, it's theological. That's the other word I was trying. It's theological also. If you got two theological differences coming out of the same spectrum, I could be this kind of Mason here and this kind of Mason there, and you in it, or also to go on sororities and fraternities. Our current vice president, Kamala Harris, is a AKA. They go on a theological perspective that's based on a rift. It's on a. If you have to study these things. If you don't study these things, you won't understand the psychological, ideological category in which they are trying to introduce you to. They will have a agenda that'll be different than the newcomers that come on their society. Like, it's the same thing with Freemasonry. Like, any fraternity or sorority, you come in, you'll be a newcomer, you won't even know that they had a 300, 400, 500, 600-year plan or greater that was supposed to be fulfilled when a certain person reached a certain height in the in the social circle of society, whether you're being a president, a king, queen. In my fraternity, we have kings are the most prominent ones. We had presidents, but they're not the most prominent based on the ones that are kings and queens. They hold their positions in the higher esteem, surprisingly. But in my section of my fraternity, the one of the highest known members in the Scottish Rite are the I guess the Duke of England or whatever. But you know that's here to be said. But basically, it comes to a point where when generations pass, you lose the set of history of bringing up your men or women to be something of a certain class. It's to be proud of. They could be of the political class. They could be of the warrior class. They could be of the learned class where you teach. They could be of the doctoral class. But they have to be excellent in their craft, building things. That's even wonderful. You got to be excellent in what you do. So that's where I come from when it comes to that realm. But right now, I honestly understand that people they don't even care about these first 100 days. Just talking to people, asking people simple questions. First 100 days, they're not paying attention to any executive orders. They don't even realize it's going to touch their home base. It's I never seen this amount of people, my own people, not care just because they hate a person. I just never seen that in my life. A person, let alone a group of people. If you want to call them a Republicans, that's up to you and God. I don't know what you hate, but just that introduction into a conversation. What you feel about Biden? Anything is better than Trump. You gotta be genuinely dishonest to say that with a sentence. And then I mentioned what about the devil? Anything is better than you. If you're gonna give me that example and then tell me anything, I have to laugh at you. I can't take you serious. And the fact that it's millions of you that voted like this is just like I never lived in the world like this. It's just like the Twilight Zone. I can't believe you believe. I can't believe that you're that. Just I don't care. And when you use details, you call me too political.
Well, it's because they don't have anything to back up what they're saying. They have nothing. They want to go personal, or they want to dismiss things, or they want to, they've got their default things that they go to, and the cognitive dissonance in this country is staggering. But I don't even at this point. I would just think that people should just surround themselves with like-minded individuals, because those are going to be the people that would survive something that, something really significant. It's not going to be these brain dead zombies. Those aren't the people, some of these people will get you hurt being around people that don't know what's going on, that are unprepared. I think that's more dangerous than anything.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna run the wrong way.
We try to get you caught up.
So yeah, I'm just saying, but I don't know. I mean, what are we 2 days in? 2 days into this situation? 3 days?
Yeah, and you already not wearing masks after you do the mask mandate legislation. We already caught you on your first gaffe. Give us the whole 4 years of every day you're doing something. And I swear you're gonna be impeached quicker than quick as ready.
That's not a gaffe, sir.
Rules for thee and not for me. Rules for not for me. But I guess I'll wrap this one up.
Yeah, I'm gonna
What
sign off.
you want to say?
And I'm gonna sign off. And I thank you for having me on. It was fun. I'm sorry I had to subject you guys to my my Bon Jovi and
It's all good.
yeah, the Bon Jovi and the Tom Petty. Living like a refugee.
Yeah.
All right, DJ. Well, have a good night. And I don't know, like I said, it's the start of the weekend. I'm sure somebody's going to be back on because I think some more stuff is going to come out next week.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah, pretty
DJ.
much.
Good night.
Something
and
gonna come out every day. Trust me. So.
Good night to everybody
All
in the
right.
chat. And I'll talk to you later.
Like, follow, share, and subscribe, everybody. Peace.
Crazy.